Welcome to the Rethreading Lives podcast, where we talk about how to take your threads of harm and through the rethreaded process, transform them into something that actually helps you reach your potential. We'll talk with different leaders in our city and our country and find out what they're doing. You'll walk away from listening to this podcast with useful insights and captivating stories on how you yourself can rethread your life and your business. I'm Kristin Keen, and this is the Rethreading Lives podcast. Hello, Rethreading Lives podcast listeners and viewers. Welcome to Rethreading Lives podcast recap. And today we're going to take a look at Joel Chamberlain's podcast. Joel is my brother. He is such a dear, dear friend, a dear, dear man. This man I love the way that Joel loves his family. More than anything on the planet, this man loves his wife and his daughters. And he is raising his daughters to be empowered and do amazing things in the world, to be entrepreneurs, to do whatever they want, to be businesswomen. It is really inspiring. So in this interview, we take a deeper dive into the rethreaded process in his life and kind of how he took his harder childhood with his father and has become this role model of a father. It's a beautiful story. So let's take a listen to my brother, Joel.
It's taken me a while to kind of put into words, I guess, my view on time and how I look at it. I think first, to start off, if you have a product or service that is in a high demand, it's going to require a lot of time. So we've created a unique product or service in our business that is in demand. We are not transactional. So if you want to just get, for example, your tax return done someplace and you're looking to get it done fast and cheap and not get any advice, we're not the right fit for you. However, if you're growing your business and you need better financial data to help you make decision making, if you're have assets that you're trying to invest and you need somebody on your team helping you analyze investment decisions, doing some of those calculations with you, alongside of you. If you're doing some family planning and structuring things for the next generation or eventually to sell your business, we're the right group for you.
I'm just going to pause here because time is our resource. It is our currency to reach our potential. It is the thing that you can't get back. You can't buy it back. No money gets it back. Once it's gone, it's gone. And this is an example of Joel, right? He is taking his business, which is accounting. He's a genius. And then expanding it and being so intentional in it to help other people do more good in the world. So he is actually, this is what I always talk about a lot. When you are using your time intentional, when you are living out your purpose, you are creating space, right? And a bigger sphere, which in turn is creating space for other people to reach their potential. So this is what I love about Joel, is that he does everything with excellence. He does everything on purpose. The way that he spends his time, it's like he refuses. He will only maximize his impact into the world because of how intentional he is. And I love that he stays firm in his values across his life. Like when you hear him talk about his business, this is true. This is how he runs his business. I know this because we have used him before. And in his financial firm, he has sat down with me, who I do not have a lot of money, and I know he will not make a lot of money for me, and help me create a financial plan to build my future. Because he wants the best for me, just like he wants the best for his clients, because he's so intentional.
Kind of back on some of my story, we didn't grow up wealthy. I didn't grow up wealthy. So if I wanted things, I had to figure out how to pay for them. I found out at an early age, the best way to do that is to offer a product or service people want to buy, whether that be a certain candy at school or a certain pencil or accessory that people wanted. And I was selling them. I was a hustler. And then that transitioned, into later in life. So time has been a challenge, I think, at first. I think what I've done is structured my work that it's still in the right order. So I go to work usually early, and then I'm home and I'm present with my family at dinner time, and I'm there in the evenings, and I'm involved in the girls with their homework, and I'm involved with what's going on in their lives. So I'm gone early in the morning while they're asleep, so they don't really know that I'm gone, but I'm gone on those times. Um, and then making those priorities, I've built my schedule around having those big summer breaks, and it's I think this summer we were maybe home 2 weeks this summer, but other summers it's been a month or something. And we've done some great trips, whether it be, up the East Coast of the United States history tour when the girls were younger.
See, this is why Joel is such a good dad. I mean, one of the first things I learned about Joel, he's like, I count the summers that I have with my children. And he's intentional. He's like, I only have 18 summers and that's it. So I'm going to make the most of each summer, and makes this amazing plan. And when he's talking about how he arranges his schedule to put in the priorities, I mean, how many of us do that, right? I struggle with that, and I'm single. I don't have a family to prioritize and not let work take over. I love intentional people.
My time commitment at work has been probably on the higher side, probably like a lot of your other entrepreneurs that you're talking to. But I've figured out how to make it balance and work where I'm not out of priority with my God, family, and work priority.
And Joel, I'll just give you a little background on Joel. Joel, before he even met Joel, he knew Jonathan White, who was on the board at Rethreaded, and we hadn't started yet. And he had heard about what we're doing, what we wanted to do. And his firm, for free, did all the paperwork so we could have a 501c3 without knowing us. So literally, Joel was there at the very, very beginning, because Joel's an entrepreneur and he loves the beginning and the start. And he loves to be part of pushing people to their possibility.
A lot of accountants live in the rearview mirror. You're getting reports from your accounting firm that are dated, that are in the past. Well, what's predicting your future? What are those key performance indicators that are going to help show what your revenue and your growth and your profit's going to be next quarter? Those are what you should be tracking. And it could be some simple things, a handful of simple key performance indicators. And a lot of business owners haven't thought of them, or they're not tracking them.
You know what? I wish Joel would create something that's key performance indicators for my life. Here's the things that you need to be measuring to see if you're going to be successful. I mean, that's basically what the 3-threaded process is, right? Our key performance indicators of reaching your potential in life. Are you deeply connected to your purpose? Do you know your purpose? Are you living out your purpose? Do you have a vision of your life and where you want to be that is so powerful, and you believe it so deeply that you will move towards it? Are you open? Are you honest with what is, with yourself? Are you vulnerable with other people? Are you intentional with your time? Are you surrounded by a community that loves you? That will not let you off the hook, that will push you to be who you're created to be. That might have to be my next project, is these key indicators, and we put it down into some very practical stuff. Maybe I'll have Jason on the podcast again, and that's what we'll do. And we'll create a sheet for you. Key potential indicators for your life. Joel would actually love that because he's an entrepreneur.
And the minute you start testing and measuring something, guess what? It gets better, right? Test and measure anything in your life, whether it's fitness or anything you're trying to do. When you're recording it and testing it and measuring it, it's going to get better. So we help business owners with that, and the results speak for themselves.
Well, it's kind of like the process. Sorry. We talk about how blame and shame keeps you in the past. Taking responsibility and ownership moves you forward.
Yes.
It's that can be so much in business too, right?
Yes.
As if you're looking backwards and worried and all this stuff, instead of looking forward and how am I going to protect, how am I going to move forward?
Yes.
You can be successful.
I just preached to myself. That was good. That's so good. Oh, because exactly what I said. Blame and shame keep you in the past. Taking responsibility helps you move forward. And I think there's two things I have in life. I think it's hard sometimes to take responsibility for our own life, for what has happened to us, what we have been dealt, what we've chosen to have in our life, what we haven't chosen to have in our life, and taking ownership of that and not letting our life control us. It's the same with your business. I remember when Rethreaded was 4 years old, Jason came on, and then Jason was with us for 2 more years. And I read this book, Traction, and it's this business book, it's an EOS operating system. So it's a structure for how to run your business. And it was the first business book that made me cry because it started off, are you controlling your business or is your business controlling you? It was like, my business is controlling me. So what this was a 6-month process that we implemented into Rethreaded. And suddenly we had a 10-year goal, 3-year goals, a year goal broken down to quarterly rocks with weekly to-do list. We knew our purpose, like our mission, why we existed. We had a vision for the future. We had a safe community because we went through, who's in the right seat? Are they in the right seat on the bus? We had a chart, an accountability chart, so people knew exactly what they were responsible for. So everyone knew their role. And then it creates accountability, like in the organization, like people every month see what Kristin is responsible for and if I'm achieving it or not. And it is this system that makes you take responsibility for your business. And we have put that into our life sometimes, tractioning our life, which actually I found to be a little bit harder for myself to put 10 years out. So I'm going to end this podcast where I want to be in 10 years. Because I know I did some work on this. In 10 years, I want to be a professional speaker for Rethreaded, empowering, helping activate and envision the potential inside people through speaking. I want to have started a couple side gigs. I want to be taking women, business owners. I want to be taking people through the Rethreaded process and helping them rethread their potential. I want to have my anxiety. I've had practice so much harnessing the power of my anxiety and focusing it into energy for my future instead of having it paralyze me. I want children involved in my life somehow. So hopefully by then, maybe I'll be married and be a grandparent. And I want my life to be rich with relationships and meaning. That's what I want in 10 years. So I would encourage you to listen to Joel's full podcast. He offers some very practical wisdom mixed with his beautiful entrepreneurial heart. And in the podcast, Joel and I talk about how his purpose, I called him the entrepreneur of hearts. And if you listen to his podcast, you will find a man who pushes people, pushes businesses to be their best. So take a listen. Like, follow, comment, and thank you so much. Do the hard work, reach your potential. Thank you.